since I've started this YouTube channel, I've done a lot of reading about Matthew 5:13-16, and because Jesus always spoke in parables, and they're, every word meant something. And clearly, when he's using the example of salt and light, it's like, okay, contextually, what did the people of the day, what did salt do? And so, what couple key themes that always come up is salt is a preserving agent, and salt is brings out flavor.
That's right.
And I love both of those examples. But in your sermon, you gave an example of Civil War era.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here in Middle Tennessee where the Civil War was fought. Yeah. But you gave an example of a salt mine, right? Can you maybe share that a little bit? Because I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, they used to rob each other. Like the North tried to rob the salt mines of the South because they knew that if they could get that substance, they could get the salt out of that camp, then they could, the Southern Army would use salt to cure leather, right? And so it would help making boots. If you take the boots away from an army, now they can't march forward into the battle that they're fighting. And there's so many metaphors and analogies associated with that, but it was a powerful commodity. And if one army could capture the salt of the other, then they had effectively could render them pretty useless in advancing.
Yeah.
And so the other analogy that I forget who shared it, but I stole it, is what we use it today when an approaching storm's coming. So we put salt on our roads when we know snow's on the way. At least we try to here in Nashville. I don't know. It's been interesting watching that. But we put it on our roads so that as we're traveling down that road, that salt, as long as it's laid down, will keep us on that road in the direction we're going. Because if it's not there, we can veer off straight into the ditch and crash. Of course, there's metaphors there too. Yeah. So salt, the illustration that Christ uses is powerful in a number of...
It's got so many angles. It's a preserving angle. And then I think something that we as Christians need to be more is, are we bringing out flavor in life? Like when people are around us, are we a joy to be around? Are we making whatever atmosphere we're in better?
That's right.
Instead of, bitter Christians who are angry at everything, like that's not bringing out the flavor of life.
100%. And I just think it goes back to, at the end of the day, Christ says, hey, these are the words of Jesus. There's one way the world's going to know that you belong to me. It's not all the missionary trips you go on, all the Bible studies you've attended, all the prayer meetings. All those things are, of course, an extension of being in Christ, taking care of the orphan and the widow. But there's one way that the world is going to look at you, no matter if they speak your language, whatever continent you're on, and know that person's marked and they are a disciple of Jesus, the way they love one another.
Yeah. You'll know me by their love.
They will know you by the way you love one another. And if you're not salt of the earth and light of the world in your business or in your school, among your sports teams, whatever the case may be, if you choose to just kind of table the convictions of Christ in your life and then pick them back up on the weekend, there's no way the world can point to a group of people doing that and say, hey, they're in Christ, or there's something different about those individuals, because there's not.